I'm the golden snatch. I'm here with Sterling and Sneegans on the live stream, and we are shortly going to be bringing you the 15-16 playoff game between Team Germany and the Netherlands. So I'm just going to hand over to Sterling to run through the Netherlands roster for you. Hopefully in a minute we will be able to see the players lining up on track.
We have number 13 Apollo, number 1337 Slapsock, 16 Van Elk, 2048 Waster, 24 The Hammer, 34 Diesel, 37 Lone Star. We have 52 Jupiler, we have 43 Halogene, and we're just gonna get ready for the anthem first. That was the German national anthem. Now on to the Netherlands national anthem. We will finish the rosters soon, quickly after that.
Okay, so with the national anthems done, did you finish running through your roster?
Johnny Beerwood, 83 Nicholas Rage, 86 Untitled Russian. We have number 9000 Animal is still on the roster, will not be playing, however. 96 Anita and 981 Rudi Kattel.
And playing in black and gold for Germany, I will run through the roster for this game. We have Andy Barr, Michael Brojo, Atom Bump, the captain Paintera, Joaquin Ludwig, Locomotive, Soren Schneemann, David Nowak, Mahatma Bronson, Baltic Bastard, Philip Schmid, Krasser College, Alexander Thulman, Track Jiver and Crumblage. That is your roster for Germany there on the screen. Just a reminder again, this is the 15th, 16th playoff place. The winner of this will rank 15th overall in this World Cup. Last time the Netherlands were in the World Cup, they finished 20th out of 20, so already they have surpassed the 2014 ranking and will definitely be ranked 16th or 15th. Both teams have played 4 games in this tournament so far, each taking 1 win apiece and 3 losses. So they're coming into this fairly even, and it should be a really fantastic matchup on this, the last day.
Exactly, both teams very friendly with each other as well. First off, we have Anita, number 96, David Nowak, number 23, jamming for Germany there in the front. We see Anita in the back, struggling to get past those German blockers. Same, however, going for David Nowak in the front.
Yeah, some offense coming in from the Netherlands at the front.
Slapsock hitting out the German jammer there. Already 1 penalty issued. Skater going to the cheese ball bearings penalty box.
And the first lead of the game is issued to Nowak and Germany, but he is swallowed back up and forced to reset in turn 1.
And Anita actually first out of the pack there. Of course, jam ended pretty quickly there by the lead German jammer David Nowak. First jam done and no points scored.
And I think that's probably going to be fairly indicative of how the game's going to go. Pretty tight, quick jams. The win is what's important here, not the differential. Nicholas Rage on the jam line now for the Netherlands, and he was a force to be reckoned with in the game yesterday, taking the start a few times, putting lots of points on the board for Netherlands. And Bronson has been pretty formidable on track as well. This should be a good matchup.
Second, and it's interesting because Rage is usually put on as a blocker or as a pivot, but he has such immense force behind his skating and behind his hits. And, you know, we can clearly see that it's working for them. Lead going to the Netherlands here.
Bronson also out of the pack. You can't see that on your screen. Oh, but unfortunately, announcer's curse. Nicholas Rage is going to the box, I believe, on a back block, leaving Germany and Bronson on the first power jam of the game. Bronson still working on that pass, though.
Is being recycled back by Apollo there, who gets knocked down but immediately gets back in to try and hit him out again. Still stuck in that pack, Mahatma Balsam, and he has been pretty consistent with showing us some pretty good jamming so far.
Great penalty kill here from the Netherlands as the penalty for Rage comes to an end and he re-enters play, as you see on your screen there. Lovely lateral footwork. Takes on that German blocker at the front and comes around for 4 points.
4 points of the game, and we could see yesterday the game Sweden versus Germany. They had a lot of trouble staying together. The offense for Sweden working really well for them. Really doing better. And he tried to jump the apex there, Nicholas Rage. Didn't quite manage to do so. Mahatma Bronson, in the meantime, out onto his first scoring pass. And a grand slam for Nicholas Rage.
Bronson with points on the board for Germany now takes a Netherlands blocker that is Diesel to the floor. Resets.
Very nice lateral blocking there by Apollo, but as I'm saying, that major clockwise being a direction penalty being issued to him now. 4 points for Bronson.
Nicholas Rage re-entering the pack again, of course. Neither jammer able to call the jam right now. We have 7 seconds remaining.
Correction, 3 points for Bronson there in that last pass, but he's already back on track. Very nice offense there by his blockers.
Huge jam there for the Netherlands. 18 points put up there by Nicholas Rage and 11 for Germany. So big jams for both teams.
Yeah, and I feel like they're just kind of like trying to test out what kind of jammers they're going to need here. Both teams, actually, what kind of jammers they're going to need here up against these walls. Jupiler, number 5-2 on the track for the Netherlands, and 8-5 track Guyver for Germany.
Jupiler, a very, very skillful jammer when he has speed and when he's allowed space. He had some trouble getting out of the pack yesterday in his games, but once he was out, he was pretty difficult to slow down.
Exactly. Slapsuck here in the meantime, recycling track Guyver, running into Halo Jean there. Big hit onto track Guyver there on the outside. Both jammers still in the track, or in the pack.
Yeah, we've actually moved backwards behind the jam line now.
We've seen a lot of these clockwise roller derby going on here this past weekend. Once more, track Guyver being knocked to the ground there. Very solid tripod. Very solid walls of both teams, actually.
And after 40 seconds almost, Jupiler is out of the pack and awarded lead for Netherlands. Second consecutive lead for the team in orange and blue.
Track Guyver almost out there. Once again, runs into Halo Jean there in the front. Still in the pack.
And we have seen a star pass to Germany's pivot. That is number 9-4. Kumbalage. First star pass of the game.
2 points scored, actually. Not lead, 2 points scored. 4 more points put on the board for the Netherlands. However, and look at that replay.
Yeah, our replay is brought to you by vmix.com, and we just saw on that replay track driver almost doing some kind of dance move on the outside line. Unfortunately, that doesn't get points in roller derby.
Yeah, I believe that is Apollo there trying to get right in the middle of those German blockers. Lone Star first down of the day. He was shadow coaching yesterday next to Nowak.
And tight pack off the jam line.
And Lone Star, he actually performed very well and very consistently against Japan really didn't get pushed out, just kept pushing and stretching that pack, and it worked for him. Seems to work for him right now as well. Second lead for the Netherlands.
Yep, 75% lead jam status for the Netherlands in this game right now. And just stays in bounds with a little toe stop turn, but falls to the ground and calls the jam.
3 more points for the Netherlands here on the board.
The Netherlands coming out pretty strong and fast in this game already, and it's really nice to see a fairly evenly matched game. Of course, throughout this tournament, we do get games where you have, you know, higher seeds or higher previously ranked teams playing against sometimes new teams, and the games seem to have these 100-point differentials, 200-point differentials. This is going to be hopefully a tighter game.
Exactly, and we see a very small jammer rotation here for the Germans. Once again on track, Mahatma Bronson for Germany. Van Elk, first jam of the day here for the Netherlands. And we see a lot of very, well, I don't want to say split packs, but very stretched packs over the weekend.
We're seeing more classic derby being played right now. We're seeing the walls holding really strong, 1-0 coming in, trying to help out with each, because these teams may not have the experience to put a huge amount of skill at speed on track right now, relatively speaking, but what they can do is default to these very, very strong walls.
Exactly, you see that they're going back to basics, especially because they've suffered some losses against some very hard-hitting, fast-playing teams, and I think both of the coaches of both teams have probably just told them, like, go back to the basics, focus on what we know, and focus on executing that well. And look at these blockers, they are just not moving.
And a minute has expired and still no lead jam called.
Yep.
Bronson is at the top of the pack, but is not lead. It is no pass, no penalty. So lead, no, lead was open, but there has been a star pass to Rudy Cartel. So the final 40 seconds of this jam will be run out.
And there we have, I believe, is a Klasse collega getting out of the penalty box. They're sprinting onto the track.
Rudy Cartel barreling through will put 4 points on the board for the Netherlands. You can see on your screen, though, the pack moving back into the straightaway. Bronson still struggling to make a scoring pass.
Yep. Correction, by the way, that was Alexander Toulman, who was out of the penalty box and performing some really good offense there for his teammate. But it is actually Rudy Cartel gets out, scores a grand slam for the Netherlands.
Rudy Cartel has been instrumental on track this tournament for the Netherlands. He's been an excellent pivot, very, very strong in the pack as well. So it's really nice to see these like slightly newer teams just grow throughout the tournament as well and really solidify their skills.
And what I like to see with these less experienced teams, and especially with teams that do not have the lead percentage that most other teams do, is their star passes tend to be on point, which is something I always like to see. Schneemann, in the meantime, on track next to Anita. I believe we have an empty Cheeseballs Bearings penalty box.
Oh, don't jinx it.
Like to see. I know.
Anita using lovely footwork at the pack, but Germany swarming around him very effectively.
Anita, one more blocker. The pass there in the front takes a tumble onto the blockers. They were almost out of play, but look at that offense there in the back, pushing that Dutch wall forward as well. Great
balance there by Anita to stay in bounds, works his way through. Fantastic work there from Anita of the Netherlands. 30 seconds, picks up lead. And, oh, we just missed it on camera, but there was a lovely spin there from Schneemann. Didn't quite stay in bounds, but was out of play, so could come back on track.
4 more points scored by Anita, 0 points scored. Oh no, I'm just completely making things up here. 4 points each, 4-4 here in this jam.
It's easy to make things up in roller derby. It's a very strange sport.
Especially on this 4th day. Once again, Jupiler, he picked up the first lead for the Netherlands this game so far. Nowak on the track for Germany.
So we've had 5 different jammers for the Netherlands so far. So they're running quite a wide jammer rotation, possibly because, as you said, it is a long tournament. This is the 4th day. Better to put fresh jammers on track as much as possible.
Exactly. Jupiler trying to dip low there, but it gets knocked out by Schmid anyway.
We can't quite see the jammers right now. There we go. Jupiler coming in to the camera angle on track. And we are going to have a power jam in favor of the Netherlands as Noak has taken a seat in the cheese ball bearings penalty box. This is the first power jam of the game in the favor of the Netherlands. Yeah. So there was a great penalty kill last time. Jupiler does pick up lead almost a minute in. So pretty good work there by Germany, holding him back.
And the penalty box has been emptied again. Noak in the meantime back on track here, has taken a star off to try and go incognito a little bit.
Ninja jamming.
Ninja jamming.
And the pack in the far straightaway. Netherlands trying to swarm around to offer Jupiler some offense.
And look at that offense by Baltic Bastard. He's been really consistent in either recycling the Dutch jammers or keeping those Dutch blockers in check. Same going for number 34 for the Netherlands, Diesel, by the way, using his size to just step into someone, move them out of the way, saying, this is my spot right now and you're going to get away from my jammer.
We're seeing some great positional defense here, really, like working on the basics of that positional blocking. Jupiler takes a tumble to the outside, resets, takes on one at the front and does make it round for 4 points. A very grinding jam there. Only 4 points awarded in total to the Netherlands after 2 minutes and a power jam.
And look at that wonderful V-mix replay there. The little trill by Jupiler managing to stay inside the lines and continuing his scoring pass. Noak actually never managed to get out of that initial pass. Current score for Germany, if you're just tuning in now, 20 points for Germany, 42 points for the Netherlands. We have a team timeout for Germany.
So during this team timeout, I would like to take a quick moment to tell you about some of our sponsors. So I would like to tell you about Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch Skate Shop is the largest Derby-owned and operated store in Europe, operation online and actually having a physical store. Heavily involved in the European Derby community on a number of levels, we are best known for our reliable service, honest advice and competitive prices, as well as our top quality products and huge product range. So that is Sucker Punch Skate Shop. We're also very fortunate to be sponsored by Bruised Skate News, Bruised Skate Straps. If your skates just don't quite fit right, don't let foot or heel slippage mess with your game. Check out Bruised Skate Straps. They wrap around your boot and plate to keep your feet in place so you can improve agility. Be better with Bruised Skate Straps and check them out at bruisedsn.com.
Very enthusiastic crowd here. I'm not sure if it's audible on the live stream. We also have this wonderful little sign here put up by the Dutch saying, it's time to fear the Dutch are here.
I mean, I think the Dutch are like some of the nicest people I've ever met.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But maybe not on track. They're pretty formidable.
Yeah, I think the Germans don't quite agree with you right now. See, Lone Star back on track. I believe that's Mahatma Bronson next to him, yes. This is the third time for Bronson to jam here in this game, second time for Lone Star.
And again, quite a slow start off the jam line. It is Lone Star at the front of the pack, patiently working, trying to edge through that tripod that is just reforming tornado style around him.
And of course, Lone Star there in the front has Nicholas Rage doing offense, bridging for him. Doing offense there in the front for him, the Dutch pivot, while number 619, Gasse Collega, is still in the box, only just getting out to help out Mahatma Bronson get through that pack. Lead going to Lone Star.
Lone Star just sweeping past a couple of German blockers there, but their reforming is really getting a lot better as this game goes on, and they find him on the outside line. In the meantime, Bronson being drawn back into turn 2, now coming into the straightaway.
I would say very consistent hitting out and recycling there by Apollo. Actually, Greek has been skating in Rotterdam for a couple of years now and therefore joined the Dutch team. He's been bridging here right now, and once again that offense there, hit from the hammer in the front, but Mahatma Bronson does manage to get past those blockers.
Nice patient offense there coming in from the German pivot, and only 3 points on the board there for the Netherlands. So both teams putting up a really good fight right now.
Definitely, they're really. I mean, the Dutch are in the lead right now with 25 points, but the Germans definitely are not giving those points up very easily. Van Elk on track again as well, next to Track Guyver. First World Cup for Van Elk.
Oh, he's really held his nerve.
Exactly.
I mean, it's nerve-wracking just watching the game, never mind playing them. Lovely shoulder hit there from Van Elk. Sweeps to that wide open outside line to pick up lead. Track Guyver also out of the pack and not far behind. Now this is where the pace will pick up. Or maybe it won't. Maybe the jam will be called before. Oh, maybe 1 point will be scored. There we go.
I think the Netherlands had a lot of power jams against them yesterday against Sweden, and I do think they just like to keep it safe, like to play it safe, scoring a couple of points or just 1 point in this case, and just calling off that jam before possibly getting a power jam against.
Power jams have been absolutely critical this tournament. I announced a game the other day. I think it was 11 power jams to Sweden in one game.
Yeah.
And it was a convincing win, and that was based off those power jams. So yeah, probably best to play it safe when you're fighting for 15th or 16th place now.
And again, that's part of going back to those basics. And right now we see both Anita and Noah going back to those basics, playing it safe. Don't trying anything fancy really, but just trying to push through the middle there and towing the lines. Not taking any risks when being hit out either.
34, Diesel offering up some offense for Anita. Nowak does make it out of the pack, but it's no pass, no penalty. Anita still stuck in the back and is going to... Nope, it is not Anita going to the box. We have a German in the box for a high block. Anita has now removed the star.
Lead is closed right now, which means we are going to continue the full 1 minute that is left of this jam.
Huge hit there by number 13 of Germany, Attenbump. Nicholas Rage off to the box on a directional penalty, so Anita will not be able to pass the star off to his pivot.
Nicholas Rage has fouled out 2 games so far, so let's see what he's going to do this game for them, because he's one of the stronger players, has a lot of experience playing in England with Tynan here in Newcastle, and they definitely need him on the team. One more scoring pass here by David Nowak. I believe this is the first Grand Slam for Germany.
I believe you're right. And Germany now going to be on a power jam as Anita is off to the box on a cut track. This will see a power start for Germany unless he gets a penalty in the next 5 seconds. Second jammer penalty for the Netherlands this game. So Germany now only 4 points behind after a huge 22-point jam. I think I'm correct in saying that is the biggest jam of the game. I know Nicholas Rage had 18 points earlier, but now 22 points.
And we are going into another official review or an official timeout here. And let me just say something about Quad Skate Shop. They've been here and they have been very helpful in helping out the team wheel skaters who lost some of their gear, and they actually got them some kits. So Quad Skate Shop, Europe's original brick and mortar skate shop, outstanding selection with a delivery guarantee. You can also check them out online at quadrollerskates.com.
So at the end of that jam, Anita was sitting in the penalty box for a cut track penalty, but we've just been informed that he is just going to have some time with the medics, which means he will set off a minimum of 3 jams. So it is going to be Jupile taking his place in the penalty box. Germany and Schneemann will be on a power start. I think this is the first power start of the game. We've had a couple of power jams, but no power starts as of yet. So it'll be interesting to see how the Netherlands defense hold up against the German offense. when we come to the end of this timeout.
Yeah, we see Rudy Kartel being the pivot for the Netherlands right now. Rudy Kartel actually a player for the South German roller derby, so he's up against some of his teammates right now, since the national team has quite a number of players from that team, or from that team.
It's one of the wonderful things about the World Cup. Actually, you have players on teams from leagues all over the world. Anita is skating back to his bench, but because he has seen the medics, he will sit out 3 jams. That is our safety rules of roller derby, just to make sure that he is A-okay. And now we're going to get underway with this power start.
Current score actually 42 up against 46 after that 22-point scoring jam by David Nowak.
And Germany lining up to do an offensive sweep there, but Netherlands very quick off. Germany now trying to pick off Netherlands blockers one by one, and very nice sweeping offense there for Schneemann, who is out as lead for Germany. He comes into the pack. Netherlands in full defensive lockdown now with a 4-wall.
Philip Schmidt, however, being sent to the penalty box there. Oh, Jupiler entering the...
That's going to be a low block issued. So right back to the box for Jupiler, and another power trip. I think he was on track for about 3 seconds before that happened. So this is not good for the Netherlands. Can this be an opportunity for Germany to effect a lead change?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of accidental low blocks here. We've seen a lot of people slipping on this track, and I do 100% believe that he did not mean to do that, but managed to slip. But still, intention is not something the refs really look at when it's basic penalties. Schneemann is trying to get through that pack. He probably picked up some points already, passing and twirling around those Dutch blockers. Alexander Toelman once again helping him as his pivot.
And there's some nice defensive work going on from the Netherlands right now. Germany locking down again as Jupiler enters track. Slapzak coming in to help Jupiler out, who now works around a couple of blockers and does make it out on his initial pass.
Oh, penalties raining for the Netherlands. Both Untitled Russian and Slapzak reporting to the penalty box. Jam ended, 2 points scored by Jupiler.
And is that going to...
4 points.
We have had a lead change now.
Yep.
2 points for Jupiler and 9 points there for Germany. So Germany now out in front by 3 points. This is a nail-biter of a game, as we hoped it would be. We are having a timeout. I believe it is an official review called by Germany.
Yeah, and I believe, as I'm only seeing Nicholas Reitz as jam on track, I'm not really clearly seeing the penalty box, but I almost want to assume that they're just lost a blocker. They just haven't fielded a jammer yet. So I'm curious to see what they are going to call that, what that official review is going to be about.
The previous jam for Germany was only their second lead of the game, having had the first lead. So we are now going to be going into jam 12. So despite only having 2 lead jams, Germany is out in front. So the Netherlands have had many more lead jams, but have put up fewer points. There's been a couple of 1 or 2 3-point jams. We're not seeing these kind of long multi-scoring, multi-pass jams that have actually been quite present in a few games this tournament.
No, and I believe that 22-point previous jam has been the highest scoring jam it's so far this game. The Netherlands have had a lot more lead jams so far, but like we already talked about, they just had fewer points per jam compared to Germany.
I'm just going to remind you, while this official review is going on, of how these teams got here. Oh, we're seeing a nice little shot of the Dutch banner there that we talked about earlier. Germany have played Canada, Poland, Mexico and Ireland so far in this tournament. The only game they won was against Poland, which they took 160 to 34. we're just going to hear the results of that official review.
Black have elected to use the official review to call for a direction penalty on an orange blocker on the black jammer. The penalty has been issued and they retain their official review. Thank you.
Yeah, we saw a very happy bench staff for Germany getting back, so we were kind of expecting them to retain their review.
Smart call there from Germany, which now leaves Netherlands with only 2 blockers on track.
And mind you, they already had 2 blockers in the box, since Slapsock and Anatoly Rushon are already sitting, so I'm expecting either Johnny Beirut or the Hammer to have to report to the box later this jam.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
But they did put up a very good jammer there, putting in Nicholas Rage, one of the more experienced players, most track time probably. And he does not manage to get out here. Teammates on their team back in Belgium there, the Hammer and Johnny Beirut. But it is not enough to stop Mahatma Bronson, the number 3 for Germany there, as he gets out lead. But Nicholas Rage is quick to follow him.
And a big hit there on Johnny Beirut. And we might see this on the replay. Huge shoulder hit there. It is a legal hit, but that must have hurt.
Yeah.
And Nicholas Rage did manage to pick up 2 points there for the Netherlands to Bronson's 5. So this lead is still in Germany's favor, but not comfortable just yet.
No, and I see Slapstock in the meantime standing there in the penalty box, so I'm curious to see who will be joining that Cheeseball Bearings penalty box later on. We have Lone Star here pushing in the back, Adam Bump trying to get past those orange blockers there.
Adam Bump with the first time at the star this game for Germany, I believe. And he is really trying to put some speed on there. And just stays in bounds on the inside line. Beautiful balance there, picks up lead for Germany. 3 consecutive leads in a row for Germany right now. And the Netherlands are not managing to slow Atom Bump's roll as he comes through for a grand slam.
And Lone Star still stuck, and another successful starring pass onto Rudy Cartel. He's been incredibly consistent in receiving these star passes. And big signs here coming from the German bench onto the German jammer, telling him to please call off the jam. And they kept it safe. 2 more points, however, in that final pass. 0 points scored by the Netherlands.
Germany's lead now edged out 63-50, so 13-point game.
And an official review being called here by GT, coach for the Netherlands.
So during this official review, we will just take you through and tell you about another couple of our sponsors. I'm going to tell you about Roller Derby Elite, the brand that is the sport. Roller Derby Elite are the proud sponsor of Worldwide Roller Derby and platinum sponsor of Team USA. Roller Derby Elite continues to match luxury with technology. Whether you play in a competitive league or skate on the street with your friends, it's all about the experience. So get out there and skate. Check them out at rollerderbyelite.com. And since it has been fairly well used this game, we might as well talk about Cheeseball bearings. Find your stride with the original handmade bearing, Cheeseballs skate bearings. You can check them out at cheeseballs.com. That's Cheeseballs with a Z or a Z, however you pronounce it. Cheeseballs bearings are the most reliable, longest lasting bearing available at affordable prices. Check them out online or at your local skate shop, cheeseballs.com.
And of course, a little like eight minutes and change left on the clock here for this first period. Current score, if you're only just tuning in now, 62 points for Germany, 50 points for the Netherlands, and we're currently having an official review requested by the Netherlands.
Earlier on, I told you how Germany have done so far in this tournament. So just a reminder, they've lost 3 games against Canada, Mexico, and Ireland, but did beat Poland. Netherlands with a similar story, 4 games played, 3 lost. They had a scoreless game against Team USA, which is not surprising. USA, of course, going to the finals later against England. They lost to Belgium and Sweden, but they did take the win against Japan, scoring 108 points to Japan's 47. So every team in this tournament has had the opportunity to have some great games, to really grow. And I can only hope that when the next World Cup rolls around, we have not only these teams returning, but we have some new teams as well. We have 24 teams here this year, having had 20 last time and 16 the first time. So we're growing by 4 each year.
Exactly. I'm expecting at least 28 teams next year.
That would be good fun. Lots of noise on the floor right now from Germany's bench.
Very, very excited German audience.
They're just keeping their feet warm.
And it's fun because I think for a lot of these teams, really these teams are at tournaments like these are somewhat of a rare opportunity to actually play games together, because of course they're from very different countries. A lot of them don't even have their own men's team because they either help out or play or are a referee at a women's league. So a lot of this it's kind of something that they are training towards, but it's also really a good training for them. Just playing these games.
I know Team Philippines. This tournament is the first time that they've played together, and that's the same for a couple of other teams as well. Because people come from all over the world to be part of these teams. But we have just seen some consistently really fantastic roller derby. I might as well just also update you because, of course, if you're listening now, we hope that you're going to stay with us all day. You know, you can get your snacks in between the games. Later on, of course, we have the 2 huge games of this tournament. We will have the playoff for the bronze medal and the 4th place. That will be Team France versus Australia. And the final will be England versus USA. And particularly, I think the bronze medal playoff game is not going to be one to be missed. Australia just losing out on a final place, losing to England by 3 points yesterday in what I think was the tensest game of the tournament, and certainly some of the highest quality derby I've ever seen in my life. So that's one not to be missed. But we do have, of course, many games coming up for you later. Off the top of my head, I know that Scotland are playing Finland on this track 2, at 3:15 local time, and I only know that because I'm announcing it. So Wales will also play Argentina later, and that is a playoff place, but they have already met each other in this tournament.
Well, that is actually right after this one on track 1, because I'm producing that one.
It's good that we know things, and we're now going to get the results of that official review.
Orange have elected to use their official review to call for a cut call on the black jammer. No status position change, therefore no call will be made. They have lost their official review. Thank you.
Thank you, Igor. Always concise and to the point is Eagle Maniac.
Definitely. Clear, short, clear. Let's get on with derby.
That's what we like.
Van Elk on track.
And he's up against number 3 for Germany. That is Mohammed Bronson.
Very slow jam start. Both jammers slowing into that wall. Look at Mohammed Bronson just in that seam, pushing forward everyone, almost pushing the brace Apollo off his feet. But it is Van Elk in the front, getting help from who I believe is Halo Jean. And Van Elk, like I said, first World Cup, 2nd consecutive league, I think, for him.
And beautiful footwork to get through on that inside line.
Yes. Just tiptoeing that line. He's really good friends with Jupiler. You can see that they both like tiptoeing that line. He's probably taught him a few tricks. In the meantime, Mohammed Bronson also out here onto his first scoring pass. I'm curious to see if Van Elk is going to run the clock. No, his coach, I'm not sure what he's going to do. His coach is already signaling him to call it off, but then realizes that Mohammed Bronson is back in that pack, sees those orange blockers, keeping him there, and is just telling him, just keep going now. He's already scored some points. You know, might as well put more points on the board.
Van Elk jamming in a very calm and consistent style here, really using some wonderful footwork. Now stuck in a German tripod. Diesel offering up some offense, but Germany reforming beautifully. Bronson able to skip through on the inside, just avoiding Diesel.
Now getting more offense from the rest of his blockers, who are, like we said earlier, they're really sticking with the basics, playing it safe. So instead of all doing some lengthy offense, they're just like, we're going to do some quick offense and then just going to reform just in case this jam is not called off. But Van Elk, of course, does call it off.
And on this replay powered by vmix.com, we see that lead jam with Van Elk's beautiful toe stop work, barely staying in bounds, just managing it. And 6 points to the Netherlands in that jam, 4 to Germany. And here again, this beautiful footwork from Van Elk. If you just watch him here, lovely work.
We're back to live. Anita in the front, doing what he does best. He's just pushing, kind of hopping on his toes, basically running into that wall.
Yeah.
With Schneemann there in the back. Penalty issued. Ooh, 2 penalties going for Germany. And Anita out lead. First lead for the Netherlands. Yeah, second consecutive lead for the Netherlands after a couple of times of not having lead. Anita being knocked to the inside there.
And of course, this is Anita's first jam back after his injury, so he's had a bit of time to rest as well.
Yes.
To reset his thinking, and he is working now. Grand Slam for Anita and the Netherlands.
And he needs 1 more Grand Slam. And Schneemann, of course, is still in initial. And Anita has already put 5 points on the board. Schneemann, of course, as I'm saying that, Schneemann gets out of that pack. Current score of a 66-61. So if he has scored another Grand Slam, no, just 2 more points, but they are inching in closer to the German score.
3 points in it with just under 5.5 minutes to go in this first half of this 15th, 16th place playoff game.
And I'm almost expecting this. Oh, it is another official review. Of course, Germany retained their official review earlier this period. And I'm curious to see what that is going to be about. But first, like we've seen some really amazing replays here. And of course, all the replays this weekend are brought to you by vMix software, vmix.com. And currently a very nice and empty Cheese Balls Bearings penalty box. But let's see what's going to happen there after that official review. But I mean, Cheese Ball Bearings, the most reliable, longest lasting bearing, available at affordable prices. Check them out online or at your local skate shop, cheeseballs.com. I'm getting some wonderful information here from our producer. Nowak is actually... Nowak has, this is his 5th jam, and so far his only successful jam, 22 points, that one incredibly high scoring jam that brought Germany this close to the Netherlands, whereas Nicholas Rage has jammed a couple of times, 4 jams, only 1 jam less than Nowak, but he has scored 20 points across those jams. So similar scores, but I don't know, a variety of ways to score the same amount of points, I guess.
Nicholas Rage has been to the box as well. I don't know how Nowak stands in terms of penalties, but you know, then it's nice to see them having a little chat on the jam line. We've got a shot of the officials still discussing things there, and a nice little shot of the crowd with Germany's fans there with the flag in the back row.
And we keep seeing people in the crowd with these wonderful World Cup t-shirts. And of course, after this World Cup, you can pick up the official merchandise for the MRDWC 2018 online at mrdwc.com/merch.
So thank you to our producer Snoogans for just bringing us an update on those penalties. Both jammers have had 1 penalty whilst they have been active as jammers. So we're going to get the results of that official review shortly by the looks of it. Eagle Maniac, the head referee, is talking to captain and bench.
Black have elected to use their official review to call for a forearms call. The action did not warrant a penalty, therefore no penalty will be issued. They've lost their official review. Thank you.
So Germany now using an official review for the 2nd time in this game, but of course they did win it the first time round and retain it. They have now lost it, so no more official reviews will be called this half, as both teams have now used and lost an official review.
You were so right. Nicholas Rage, on the meantime, back on track. Like we said earlier, next to Nowak, 22-point scoring jam the previous time. Let's see what he's going to do that. Oh, and look at that offense there by Diesel, but there was so much offense being done, almost the entire pack went to the ground. And Nicholas Rage passes the last blocker there in the front, picks up one more lead for the Netherlands.
He's an incredibly strong physical skater, but also can be very controlled. So that's how he managed to push past the blockers initially. He is taken to the outside by Germany holding strong and puts 2 points on the board. 1 point game.
We've seen the previous game on this track started out so incredibly tight as well, and now we have a similar thing. And of course, that's what's going to happen. Like, the closer we get to the finale, the closer all these games are going to get. Official timeout being called here while Anna Bump and Jupiler were getting ready to jam there.
I think this timeout will probably be about whether more points were scored or any points were scored, or if the jammer had accidentally gone out, because he did look like he was going very close to the outside line. What do I know? I'm not a ref. I could be making this up. That scoreboard, though, is incredibly close, and with just over 4 minutes left in this game, there's not a lot of time for either Attenborough or Jupiler to put a huge dent in, but I'm sure they're going to try. Oh, goodness, you're seeing us on the screen, aren't you, Lucky? Hi.
And we see GT just checking something with the referees as well. I always kind of want to know what they're all talking about there, but it's...
We should send in a spy.
Yeah. Well, we're really lucky to have one of the alts also, or have the alternate ref, also let us in on some referee secrets from time to time.
In refs we trust. So Jupiler and Attenbump very close there on the jam line. Attenbump almost using his head there, but not, because that would be naughty.
No,
and beautiful footwork there on the outside line for Attenbump, who picks up a much needed lead for Germany just to try to edge that lead out. Jupiler takes a big hit from 308 of Germany. That's Baltic Bastards. And leaps the apex. Puts the star back on.
And that is it. He does not need a lot of space to get through somewhere, but since he tends to toe stop a lot and hop a lot, he is very imbalanced and is sometimes can be an easy target there on the outside.
Here's that hit again from Baltic Bastard. Perfectly timed and perfectly executed. That is textbook last minute out of the front of the pack defense. I'm going to practice that.
And he was lucky that Antada Russian was actually there right in front of him, accidentally holding back that jammer, that blocker that was recycling. And we have a grand slam actually scored in that final pass there for Germany. Current score is 71 versus 65.
So 6 points in it. And we have Mahatma Bronson lining up against Lone Star. It's been a while since we've seen Lone Star jam.
Yep.
Fourth jam for Lone Star. He has had 50% lead status in those jams, and he has passed the star once.
And he is a very pushy jammer, which can be harder here on a floor as slippery as this one.
And there goes Mahatma Bronson. Germany really working the outside line in these last few jams and finding the space there.
And these games have been a lot about momentum there. We have only the hammer there in the front trying to get Mahatma Bronson, but he is not fast enough. And like I said about momentum, we have a couple of lead streaks for one team and then for the next team, and then it just switches around.
And we've had a star pass to 37 of the Netherlands. Oh no, sorry, star stash.
Yeah.
I get so excited when they take the star off. I was like, what's happening? Who's got the star? Oh, it's him.
We had a little ninja jammer moment again.
Oh, we see the jammers in a bit of a race around the apex, and Bronson calling it. I don't think Lone Star managed to pick up any points. No points, but 3 points for Bronson.
Look at Bronson just breaking through that wall, and that is the hammer and Diesel. They are the two biggest blockers they have, and he went through them like they were made of paper. actually, Lunstar still had the star in his hand in that final pass, as Snuggins very smartly points out there. So he wouldn't have been eligible to pass anyway. He probably forgot to put it on.
Lovely little matrix backwards bend there by Anita. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
yeah,
no, why do I do this? Anita, can you get a penalty? Oh, it's a penalty for a forearm, not for a matrix backwards bend. But I didn't see the forearm because I was so mesmerized by how he was moving. So power jam for Nowak. First power jam in quite a while, it seems, for Germany. And this may be a real opportunity for them to put a big lead on the board before the first half expires.
We've had previous power jams for the Netherlands, and they've had a previous time in which they were able to keep the jammer in the pack for a very long time, but Nowak is now out. However, Anita right behind him.
Yeah, Nowak is lead, but it took almost 50 seconds for lead to be awarded, so a great power kill there by the Netherlands. Nowak takes a hit to the out and is issued. Oh no, it is Anita that is issued with another forearm, so a double power jam for Germany with Nowak now at lead status.
Yeah, he was waving to his pivot, Rudy Cartel, saying, I'm going to do a star pass, and that might have been the moment that he actually caught that forearm penalty on.
Did he wave a little too enthusiastically?
Yeah, he was a little bit too enthusiastic there, I'm afraid. Oh.
Beautiful work from Nowak there, but edged out at the last minute by Halogene and Rudy Cartel. Now resetting into a tripod formation. And Germany focusing on playing defensive there rather than an offense, trying to keep the Netherlands from all getting together.
Again, those basics, instead of all moving in to do that offense. Oh, multiplay block here being called on number 619, Kasse Collega, actually a former announcer, so he's kind of on our team as well.
And with that, we have seen a huge differential compared to how this game started off put up. We're just going to have a look at that replay powered by VMix.com. And we see that edge out from Rudy Cartel. So at the end of that first half, with a 10-point jam for Germany in the last jam, Germany stands at 93, Netherlands at 65. Now remember, earlier on in the game, it was a 1 point, a 1 point game, then a 2 point game, a 3 point game. And now Germany really using that momentum, powering through, and really, really hungry for this win. But we'll see what happens in the second half. Don't go too far. There is another game over on track 1 at the moment, so you can switch to watch that for a short period of time. But please come back to us on track 2 in just under 14 minutes. See you then. And welcome back to track 2 at the Men's Roller Derby World Cup in Barcelona. We are about to start the second half of the Germany versus Netherlands game, the 15th, 16th playoff place. The winner, of course, taking 15th place in the overall World Cup rankings. Score at the end of the second half stands at 93-65 in favor of Germany. It has been a very tight game. That lead has only really occurred in the kind of last 10 minutes of the second half. Netherlands in some jammer penalty trouble as well, which allowed Germany to really swing the momentum in their favor. But by no means is this game done and dusted. We still have half an hour of play to go. Just a reminder of who we are, because obviously we're important too. I'm the Golden Snatch. I'm here with Exterminate, and Snuggins is our wonderful producer. And we're going to get underway with the first jam of the second half.
David Nowak once again taking the line here for Germany. Nicholas Rage once again jamming. It's fun to see him in like the general rotation here for Team Netherlands.
Oh, I'm going to have to speak to Tyne and Fair and go, do you know what? You need to put Nick onto jam a bit. You know, they have an excellent jam rotation, but Nick's got some skills.
Just putting him for funsies sometimes.
So Nowak, not visible on your screen because he's taking a running start behind the jam line. Nicholas Rage there at the bottom left. Now we see Nowak come in, take the inside, now take the out. Lovely little German offensive sweep there, but Nicholas Rage a bit faster and picks up the first lead of the second half.
And the first lead in quite some time, I believe, for the Netherlands.
So a significant jam here for the Netherlands getting lead, as they did not have lead for the last 3 jams of the first half and had 2 jammer penalties. Nicholas Rage managing to pick up 1 point.
And Netherlands coach GT immediately running to the inside again.
Points.
Yes, and they are able to get that extra point awarded to Nicholas Rage. 2 points to the Netherlands. Very nice. They've been incredibly on point with checking out how many points have been scored, how the penalties have been called. Very successful with official reviews as well. Van Elk, we've seen him jam, very calm jams. 2 for 2 lead, I believe. And Mahatma Bronson.
And on your screen there, we see it's the German wall at the front, laterally moving. Van Elk from side to side. Tries to take the out, stays in bound with toe stops. Mahatma Bronson pushing at the front with 1, 2, 3 to beat, and does make it through. Second lead jam of the second half going to Germany.
And we see the Dutch blockers staying much better together. They're really focusing on those basics, staying together, turning that tripod wall, and just holding back the jammer, basically.
Yeah, Mahatma Bronson now grinding away at this Dutch tripod. Has some offense come in from his pivot, moving the pack of it first, and takes the inside line for the Grand Slam.
And we saw Slapsack there bridging, but he was slightly bridging for the wrong team there. Once again, incredibly successful and quick start pass for Rudy Cartel. He has been, I think, their most successful pivot for the tournament so far.
He has certainly been instrumental. And Mahatma Bronson spins on his toe stops, stays in bounds, picks up some points on that last scoring pass, I believe. Just having some conference with the jammer. Yes, 3 points picked on that last scoring pass. And on that replay, powered by vmix.com, we see Bronson
skate
with the lead jammer status.
Adam Bump on the inside there, Lone Star on the right.
They haven't jammed a huge amount for their respective teams.
No.
I think this is probably the 3rd or 4th jammer piece, but they have both been very successful in their own ways.
Definitely.
With that last jam, Germany have broken the century mark as well. So looking to maintain that lead.
We're hearing a lot of whistles here, lots of forearm penalties being called to someone, but nobody is leaving the track. Yes, Apollo once again being sent to the track has raked in quite an amount of penalties, and we actually have the number 13, Adam Bump, out of the pack first, but no lead being called as of yet.
Yeah, he is on no pass, no penalty. So lead still open. So lead no longer open, as Lone Star has removed the helmet cover. 5 points put up for Attenbom on that last pass. Almost takes Johnny B. Rude to the ground, coming round for 4 points.
Look at that hit there. Lone Star, again, really interesting style of jammering. Just pushing, and at one point, you know, he'll get through that wall. 4 more points scored by the Netherlands, but an equal 4 in this pass for Adam Bump. But a pack favorite, back in favor of the Netherlands here.
Nice work there by Germany, but Lone Star back up and round for 5 points this time. 4 points, forgive me, I can't count.
It's hard to see. We get to see the side of the flat hand of the referees a lot. Lone Star twirling around that outside there. Once again, Apollo coming in with that offense. Let's hope he does so legally this time, but it is Adam Bump who picks up 4 more points, currently on 17 points in its scoring pass against 8 for the Netherlands. A lot of penalties for the German blockers, however.
Yeah, but it's not really slowing Attenbom down a huge amount. Well, he's being reset now by Johnny B. Rude, the captain for the Netherlands side. And the jam comes to its natural conclusion. Huge jam there for Germany. We see here Attemstar on the replay, taking on those 2 blockers, shouldering Johnny B. Rude aside and taking the outside line. Score at the end of that jam stands at 120 to 77. 19 points on the board for Germany, 10 for the Netherlands.
Once again, Nicholas Rage on the line next to Schneemann. No leads for Schneemann as of yet. This is his 3rd jam. Let's see what he's going to do now.
Nicholas Rage taking a slower start, probably wanting to avoid those back blocks, but now using his strength to push and destroy that German tripod. They reset. He takes the outside. He stays in. Unbelievable footwork there from Nicholas Rage.
And mind you, all the blockers for the orange team right now all play for the same team. So they are used to training together. And it definitely shows in the way they are working together, holding back Schneemann there, because he is still in that pack. We have the number 94 Krumelaars doing that offense for him in the front. And they are moving. Of course, they're moving that front wall to the front, but they have the pack. So they can basically just keep moving them all around the track.
Yeah, some nice work there by the Netherlands defense to push the pack forward so that Nicholas Rage can get the out-of-play calls on his blockers. Oh, but a cut track is being issued on Nicholas Rage. A power jam for Germany, the first power jam of this half. Nicholas Rage will have points that will be put up when he exits the penalty box. But right now, it is all about Schneemann.
And again, just look at the move with that offense, but look at that amazing offense.
Yeah, Germany very pleased with that.
Yeah, Lokomotive as well, helping out there, as well as the number 12, Michael Broido.
Bear in mind that this is now Schneemann's first scoring pass, so it took over a minute and a half to get out on that initial. Forearms now being issued to one of the Netherlands blockers, Nicholas Rage, back on track, so a pretty good penalty kill there from the Netherlands. Nicholas Rage, again, being quite conservative, pushing quite a lot with his upper body. Germany lateraling him really nicely, side to side.
And once again, we see that offense there in the front, but like we said earlier, they do have the pack, so they can just keep twirling and twirling that jammer around there in the front, despite the offense. Nicholas Rage picks up 4 more points. Of course, he was still in the same pass as he was when he was sent to the penalty box.
Yeah. And on that replay, we see Nicholas Rage. This is where he gets lead jamming. He takes Germany's blockers to the ground, resets, and then he comes out on the outside line for that lead jammer status.
And it's interesting that we saw a jammer penalty there in this previous jam that Michael Broido was also playing him. Apparently, he, as a referee, has a list of jammers he has sent to the penalty box.
My goodness me.
Yeah, maybe that helps him sleep at night, or it just calms him down. I don't know. We all have our
sounds like a Game of Thrones thing with Arya Stark going, I shall keep the list of people.
Exactly, yeah. And apparently there are some household names on that list as well. We are very happy with the trivia provided to us by all the teams. Just some nice little tidbits that we can share with all of you viewers at home. For those of you just tuning in, we have 22 minutes and change left on the clock of this final game for both the Netherlands and Germany. They are playing for 15th and 16th place in this Roller Derby World Cup. The Netherlands are currently on 81 points, 4 points scoring past this last pass. Germany on 124, equal 4 points scored there.
Must be quite nice to think that after this game they can go shower and then just enjoy watching the rest of the games.
I think seeing as these are German and Dutch teams, I think the first thing they are going to do is
grab a beer. Yeah, a shower beer?
Shower beer, yeah. It's a big thing in the Netherlands. I'm not sure what it's like in Germany. But yeah, I think they'll definitely go for some shower beer.
So we are going to have Noack lining up for Germany to jam. And Rudy Cartel is wearing the star for the Netherlands. First time starting with the star.
And again, Rudy Cartel plays with a lot of the men. He is part of the team of a lot of the men that are in the national team. So let's see what he's going to do. But he's currently very much stuck here with Noack once again out as lead jammer. Yeah,
Noack very calm and patient as he comes around, puts on this speed, comes up against the Netherlands blocker, but stays in bounds, edged out in turn 1 by Johnny B. Rude. And Johnny B. Rude puts a foot out so he can reset in front of him. Oh, lovely work there from Noack to put up a 5-point scoring pass. And Johnny B. Rude has received the star from Rudy Cartel. Johnny B. Rude, the captain, has also been excellent this tournament. Very aware of what's going on track. Very good positionally. Didn't work in the Netherlands' favour there, though, as the jam is called with no points on the board for the orange team.
Wow, and look at that wonderful V-mix replay that we just got to see there. Oh, Jupiler back on track. We haven't seen him jam in
a while.
Quite a while, exactly. Very interesting to see what he's going to do in his upcoming jam. Again,
I'm going to guess that he's going to do an apex jump.
If he gets the chance, you don't want to get him the chance. You don't want to give him the chance to do that. But yeah, once he gets the chance to do that, he's definitely going to go there. Forearm penalty going to number 12, Michael Broido.
And Jubilee just working on a 2-wall now as Germany are doing some offense up at the front. Have to move the pack forward pretty fast. Jubilee puts the wheels on. Is he going to make it through before the German block jammer?
And once again,
and it does.
Oh, yes.
It's a cut track. Oh, he tries to jump this straight away, and it does not work in his favor.
Yeah, he was straddling the inside line there.
And he didn't see the cut fast enough. He gained relative position, so off he goes to the box. Germany on a power jam. Lead still open for Bronson.
Currently Waster here on a track. We haven't seen him jam a lot yet, or we haven't seen him block a lot yet, but here he is holding that pack for his teammates, Entitled Russian and Halogene there. But lead, only just lead. We're almost 1 minute into this jam. Jupiler is already standing back in the penalty box with Mahatma Bronson onto his first scoring pass. And we, again, very conservative and basic playing here.
Yeah.
No crazy offense, but already a walled up set of blockers in the back.
Yeah, no risk here for either team, really. Germany want to keep that lead. They don't want the Netherlands to have a couple of big runs and catch them up. So they're just going to play it safe, keep the penalties clean. Jubilee leaping about like a jackrabbit in the back of the pack, but not making much purchase. In the meantime, Bronson drawn back in the straightaway, but the pack very split apart, lots of holes to work with.
Look at that hit by Andy Barr. Andy Barr, smallest skater on the team. Very hard hitter though. But we've had both players very much stuck in the box. I think we've only had one pass.
Yeah, one pass for Germany.
In a full 2 minutes.
Almost full 2 minutes. Yeah, he called it about 5 seconds before the jam clock expired. So score now 137 Germany, Netherlands 81. They are going to have to really pull out something special to catch Germany up at this stage. So we have Van Elk on the jam line for the Netherlands, who throws a characteristic little shoulder hit in. And that is number 13, Atom Bump for Germany, who tries to take the in. Oh, just takes a hit to the out and is given a no pass, no penalty, so not lead.
Van Elk has had 2 out of 3 leads here. As long as he keeps that cover on, he can still become lead, but at one point they're going to have to think about what is more important to them, those points of those leads. Van Elk being knocked down there. But we have a a power jam for Van Elk for the Netherlands. If he doesn't get lead now, I don't know what they can do. But look at those German blockers. They're so incredibly quick. We have Kassekollega there in the back recycling him.
Yeah, great power jam kill here by the Germany so far. Van Elk still not out on his initial. There comes the orange sweep, but a bit too far up, a bit too angled for Van Elk to work with. Shielding offense coming in. Does he make it around the outside?
Yes,
he does. My
does.
goodness, almost a minute and a half will that lead to be assessed. A minute 20 seconds. And Van Elk calls the jam as Atom Bump re-enters play. We see Van Elk there, awarded lead status, staying in bounds, but not wanting to allow Germany to put up any more points on the board. Nope. Just a little timeout here. I think there's going to be a quick conference about the scores, which gives me time to talk you through another one of our sponsors. So I would like to just quickly mention the Men's Roller Derby World Cup merch. The official merchandise for the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2018 can be purchased online at mrdwc.com/merch. If it says it's sold out, it probably will be restocked right now. I heard that from Roller Derby City, who have been producing the merchandise for us this weekend. So do check back in a couple of days if it's showing as sold out. It's lovely merchandise. You really should buy it.
Team timeout in the meantime being called by GT for the Netherlands. And of course, today we have the semifinals and the finals. Today, semifinals will be France up against Australia. Finals, of course, will be England against Team USA. And they are proud to be sponsored by Roller Derby Elite. Roller Derby Elite continues to match luxury with technology. Whether you play in a competitive league or skate in the street with your friends, it's all about the experience. So get out there and skate. RollerDerbyElite.com. And of course, currently score 138 versus 81. We still have a little bit less than 17 minutes left on the clock. So this is not yet a done deal, but the Netherlands are going to have to work on those jammer penalties. Because we've seen them working together a lot more, I have to say, because I've watched most of their games, I've watched all of their games, to be honest, and I've seen them, I haven't seen them work together this well so far. So I'm excited to see that. Yeah, they have had 6 jammer penalties, however. Germany have only had 2, and that you can tell from the points. Schneemann back on track next to Nicholas Rage.
And as the whistle goes, we see Schneemann take a pretty big running leap into that orange tripod. Nicholas Rage, again, using that upper body strength to run that German wall forward. Putting his arms up to say, look, I'm not doing a forearms, I'm not doing it. Oh, just edged out. Great hit out there by the German pivot 308 Baltic Bastard, who resets Nicholas Rage in the straightaway.
He was almost out of that engagement zone, but now same thing happening to Schneemann. It's like they're just seeing, like, okay, what you can do, I can do better.
Yep, Nicholas Rage reset again to the in, to the out. Comes back in just behind Schneemann. German sweep to the in to meet Nicholas Rage at the front. Nicholas Rage takes a dive, puts 2 hands out, even though his skates stay in bounds. So will be forced to reset in order to avoid a cut track.
This is a 4-time as lead for Nicholas Rage. And the Netherlands, like we said, they definitely need this, but he realizes that he's not getting through and actually calls that jam.
Interesting decision there, because there was still plenty of time left in that jam, and the German jammer is still not out on his initials, so
he could have realized that he was getting tired and that he was, I don't want to say reckless, but of course tired jammers do make more penalties. And like we said earlier, the Netherlands do not need any more jammer penalties. And look what we have here on the jammer line. Johnny Beirut, captain, first time jamming. We saw him take the star once as pivot up against Noah, who we've seen a bunch of times already. He takes the outside there, runs straight into Diesel.
And it is a lead jam status for Germany. But Johnny Beirut is out of the pack. So the second jam in a row there called with no points, no scoring pass completed. It's like a little bit of cat and mouse going on right now with these teams. And just under a quarter of game time remaining now.
Mahatma Bronson once again on track. A lawyer I want to say in real life, but
outside of Derby. There's life outside of Derby.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Lone Star behind him, slightly behind him here on the jammer line.
57 points separating these teams right now.
We have a full set of blockers on track for the Netherlands. And a full set on track for Germany. Empty cheese balls in penalty box there. Oh, that is a penalty being called on Lone Star. Means we now have a power jam for Germany.
Not what the Netherlands needs right now.
Let's see, we have seen pretty successful power jam kills though by the Netherlands. Let's see what they're gonna do here. The German blockers are keeping Untitled Russian there in the back, and as I'm saying that, he gets out. But so does Mahatma Bronson, picking up another lead.
It is taking a while to get through though. That was about 40 seconds until lead jam was called, even with a power advantage. And now Lone Star back in play, and the star has been passed to 1337 Joaquin Ludwig. No, not Ludwig, so I'm reading the wrong roster there. Slabzak Does that mean sleeping bag in Dutch?
It does mean sleeping bag, yes.
I would love to know why he has that name.
I know him personally, but I don't actually know why he has that name.
The good people of the roller derby world need to know why he is called sleeping bag.
I think he just thinks it's funny.
Maybe he's just very comfortable to lie on?
Yeah.
Let's go with that. So 5 lead jams for Mahatma Bronson now, and we are going to see if he can be matched by Track Jiver. We have not seen him on the track for a while for Germany, and he is up against Van Elk. Track Jiver very jukey, very good with those toe stops. Oh, goodness me, Van Elk tries the outside line, but just edged out. Track Jiver not getting much purchase on this Dutch wall, who swallow him back up. Lovely defensive movement there.
But look at the way that Baltic Bastard is moving on the track. You can see him, he is the pivot for the German team. You can see him switch from defense, offense, defense, offense. And he's so incredibly quick, but not quick enough. But once again, Van Elk has been an incredibly successful jammer for Team Netherlands.
It's his footwork. It's his ability to stay on the line with those toe stops. He tries to leap the apex.
We haven't seen Track Jiver jam since jam 9. He doesn't get through, however. I think Van Elk also does not manage to score any points there, but he did get out of lead and kept the Germans from putting any more points on the board.
And I think at this point, that's probably all the Netherlands can do. I mean, with 12 minutes left, it's not impossible that they could catch them up here, but it is unlikely with the momentum so strongly in Germany's favor.
Now 60 points, that would take a bunch of power jams in their favor. And I think the Germans, they've been playing pretty conservatively so far. Have had a bunch of blocker penalties, but not that many jammer penalties. Adam Baum also getting through without any penalties and picks up lead.
Johnny Beirut in the meantime resetting and is going to be
sitting in the cheese balls bearing penalty box
for a cut track. I think he didn't realize that the player who had knocked him off was drawing him back. He thought he'd gone out of bounds. So unfortunate for the Netherlands, who find themselves at a disadvantage in this power jam in favor of Germany. Netherlands have done some great power kills so far though. Let's see, will it happen this time? Not on this pass. 5 points go up on the board for Atom Bump.
Johnny Beirut, in the meantime, has taken off the star since he was still an initial and is standing in the penalty box. Only just released. Track Jiver still stuck here, only managed to get in 1 pass. So yeah, relatively nice power jam kill there by the Netherlands, but also effective. Look at that blocking there by the number 12, Michael Broido, pivoting around Johnny Beirut there, who manages to get out before the other jammer does, and ends that jam.
Big jam for Germany there, 15 points on the board. And the Netherlands will once again send Nicholas Rage to the jam line.
He's going to take a run-up jam. You can actually see either of the jammers on stream right now. Oh, there they are. Noack jamming for the Germans. And an empty cheese ball bearing penalty box.
Don't jinx it. And now we will see 14 penalties this jam, because you have said that the penalty box is empty.
I have ruined it for everyone. Nicholas Rage towing the outside there, gets knocked out at the end. Lead going to Noack.
Noack, very springy, skippy little jammer with those crossovers, leaps into a 2-wall, then resets. Oh, lovely bit of footwork there from Noack. Very quick 5 points on the board for Germany.
Very different jammer, seeing as Nicholas Rage really likes to get through on brute force, takes the star off there, tries to pass it to Rudy Cartel, and we've seen him take a couple of very successful and quick star passes, but he does stay in the back there. They're not letting him through, almost makes it out, Nicholas Rage. Both jammers in the meantime being recycled here.
Score exactly half right now. Netherlands 81, Germany 162. That is going to change if he can make another scoring pass. Oh no, with these points on the board.
Grand slam for Germany. "25 points scored by Germany in the last 2 jams alone. And Mahatma Bronson is one of their more experienced jammers. I think Jupiler is just trying to poke him out of the zone there a little bit.
We're having an official review called by Germany.
And they had a successful official review in the first half, retaining that and then losing their second. We have the number 12 there, Michael Broido, shaking out a little bit, using this official review just to relax a little bit. Just a little cut there to the referees, but we're just going to wait for them to actually let everyone here on the track and on the benches know what is going on before broadcasting it to you guys. And of course, today we are being sponsored as well by Bruce skate straps. Skates just don't quite fit right. Don't let foot or heel slippage mess with your game. Check out Bruce skate straps. They wrap around your boot and play to keep your feet in place so you can improve agility. Be better with Bruce skate straps. BruceSN.com.
So we see our skating officials, our referees, just going in the top of your screen there to have a little chat about that official review.
And we've already seen some cuts to the audience here who are very excited to be watching this game. And of course, some of them are wearing these wonderful World Cup t-shirts. We have caps, we have wonderful little water bottles that they're selling here. And of course, after the tournament, the merchandise will also become available online at mrdwc.com/merch.
So Snookers has just brought some very interesting jammer statistics. So in the first half, Germany had 7 lead jams. In the second half, they've also had 7 lead jams, so 14 in total. The Netherlands had 10 in the first half and 5 in the second half, so 15 in total. So despite the Netherlands having 1 more lead jammer status than Germany, it just shows that Germany have been able to capitalize on their jams more effectively, put up more multiple passes. The Netherlands have had kind of shorter scoring passes. Thanks for that, Snoogans.
Just a quick cut here to the audience while we're getting ready for our referees to tell us what the outcome of that official review is.
Black have used their official review to request a high block. No call will stand. They've lost their official review. Thank you.
The Netherlands are going to be very happy with that very loud German crowd here right now.
So no official review retained for Germany. Jupiler and
I believe that's Mahatma Bronson.
I think it is Mahatma Bronson. Yeah, he's just bending down nice, and there we go. We see him now. Oh, big tumble there. Jupiler, fast feet, twinkle toes up the inside line, picks up lead for the Netherlands. And as I said before, when he gets some speed on, he's pretty dangerous. So we'll have to see what he can do. But in this time, he has to reset to the in.
Mahatma Bronson losing the star there for a little bit, realizes that it's gone and that he's going to need it if he's going to want to score points. Skates for the inside, tiptoes on the inside there, but is lapped. Oh no, that is actually the pivot, tiptoeing on the inside. Grand Slam for the Netherlands, first Grand Slam in a while. Jupiler definitely making the Dutch crowd here proud.
Yeah, lovely smooth strides there from Jupiler. Now re-engaged with the pack in the fast straightaway. Germany lateraling around him, takes him to the out. In the meantime, Bronson still working on that initial, but it is a star pass to the German pivot, first in a while.
Baltic bastard jumping around racer there, getting a thumbs up for the nice move.
I'm surprised with speed on him like that they haven't put him up to jam. My goodness me, it was a bit of a black and gold blur. Yep. First star pass that Germany have had to use in this half, and used very effectively to conserve that jam. 8 points on the board for the Netherlands.
And we've said before that this has been a game about momentum. We saw the Dutch picking up momentum in the beginning, kind of widening the gap with their scoring the lead, and then that all got changed around with the Germans now in the lead. Current score 167 against 89. We have another official timeout here while Lone Star and Schneemann are getting ready to jam.
And just while we take this time out, I'd like to remind you again about one of our sponsors, Quad Skate Shop, Europe's original brick and mortar skate shop. Have an outstanding selection with a delivery guarantee. You can also check them out online at quadrollerskateshop.com. And we really do appreciate all of our sponsors who have helped to put this tournament together. It's been a huge amount of work, and they've done a fantastic job in supporting the skaters to get here and to be equipped and just to put on this whole event, which is, it takes a village, takes several villages in fact, to put on a tournament like this, and we are super grateful to everybody involved.
We actually see Schneemann being replaced with Track Guyver right now.
And we're getting a nice little shot of the audience there. Diesel fan club in the front row.
Yeah, that's actually Ferocious. Most of you will probably know her. Pretty big name. Diesel's partner.
I know she's coaching at Euro DerbyCon.
Yeah.
And she plays for Amsterdam.
Yeah, she does. She plays for the Amsterdam All-Stars.
And I think is that Mackenzie sitting next to her of Team Scotland.
Yep.
They will play Finland on this track later, so
stay tuned.
Yeah. You get to hear me on the house stream then.
And speaking of this track, our stream has been sponsored by vMix, brought to you by vMix software, vmix.com. And the referees have finished their
timeout.
Yeah, their timeout.
We're just having a little bit of a conversation with the old, and we will see if there's any tidbits to feed onto you.
We've seen incredibly high-level referees here, so a lot of discussions going on just to bring you the best and safest derby. Oh, the Netherlands are going to be happy with this. Power start for Lone Star. We just received from Snuggins that was a weird pronunciation, Snuggins, that the star pass was illegal because there was a no pack or an out of play situation.
A no pack situation.
A no pack situation.
So the star pass effective was illegal. A penalty has been issued to the German jammer, Mohammed Bronson, and Lone Star finds himself on a running power start and runs all the way around to turn 3 to pick up leads.
Exactly, and I love the way he jams. He just, it's like he doesn't even have skates on. He just runs on those toe stops, pushes that wall forward, picks up the points there. Yes, out of play being called on Schmidt. Grand slam for the Netherlands. And like we said, this has been a game about momentum. We just saw Jupiler pick up the points. Now Lone Star is raking in those points. Mohammed Bronson back on track.
Attempts the apex jump with star in hand, doesn't land it. Lone Star now caught up in a German tripod, working quite nice and patiently. Oh, comes in hot to that pack, does Mohammed Bronson. Threads the needle through those Netherlands blockers to make it through on his initial. And Lone Star calls the jam from the floor.
Very smart move, calling that before Mohammed Bronson came in, but also before a possible penalty could be committed against turning it into a power jam against the Netherlands. And again, look at that wonderful vMix replay there of Lone Star tiptoeing on the inside.
We're now going to see Atom Bump and Johnny B. Rude take to the line for their respective teams. Just under 6 minutes left to go in this game, and exactly 70 points separate this team. So if we can have 7 jams and 10 points each from the Netherlands, we'd have a tied game. But I don't think that's the kind of math that's going to happen.
No. Johnny B. Rude stuck in the back there. We saw him successfully get out a couple of previous jams, and oh yes, we see some bridging going on there by Untitled Russian, but at one point you just gotta let that jammer go. Again, Johnny B. Rude out pretty quickly after the German jammers each time.
Yeah, but Atom Bump coming in pretty strong turns, I think, and oh goodness me, Johnny B. Rude came in very quick, did manage to pick up 2 points there for the Netherlands. 3 for Germany. Netherlands now 1 point away from the century mark.
Anita back on track after quite some while. I saw during the first, one of the first jams, he went to have a quick visit to the medics, but he seems to be totally okay again, smiling happy to be back on track, I'm presuming.
He's
And
always a smiley jammer. I've seen him play for the Crash Test Brummies a couple of times, and he is really a phenomenal guy. Nicholas Rage back in the pack as a blocker now, but doesn't quite manage to get his hips in front of Noak, who is characteristic speed and style through that pack for lead.
Another cut track there. He was hit out. For some reason, thought he was able to go back inside of that blocker who was recycling him. But another power jam here in favor of Germany. They just lost their pivot, though. Number 3-0. Help me out here. 8, a Baltic bastard. We just saw him jamming, blocking, pivoting again now.
Yeah, so Anita not having much luck this game with these cut tracks.
He's been very penalty heavy in this game.
And we see Noak working on that outside. Now reforming Netherlands. The German offense comes in, but he just has to put the star back on and realize he did not have it on his helmet.
But look at that, those moves there by Anita, and this was a perfect power jam kill here by the Dutch. Anita is back on track out of the pack in the meantime. However, lead is still in hands of the Germans, who are not letting him put any points on the board.
Yeah, when Anita entered that track, I thought he took a pretty big sliding hit to the inside, but the blockers who had affected that hit had also gone out of play, but no points on the board for Anita this time. Track driver and Jupile taking it to the line. A little bit of a handshake, high five, fist bump, but it's been pretty present all tournament, sorry, between the teams on track, which has been lovely to see.
I really feel like most of the skaters are just happy to be here.
Yep. Track driver with a bit of a running start, has some offense at the front of the pack. Jupile using his speed and his toe stops, working round, just stays in bounds, takes a knee, gets back up.
Yeah, those rubber ankles, they can sustain a lot, but they don't sustain everything. Track diver there in the front, stretching that pack incredibly far. And since there is offense being done there in the back by one of the blockers for the Netherlands, it is Jupile.
Track driver now with lead.
Yeah.
And Jupile attempting to play for the blocker there for a second, off screen. Track driver now working on a scoring pass, resets into turn 2, comes back against the Netherlands, who are a little bit broken apart right now, sees that inside line.
Look at Waster there, also first World Cup for him. He only started skating about 1.5 or 2 years ago, but does pick up a penalty there.
This is the first time that Track driver has had lead this game, and he is running with it. In the meantime, the star has been passed to Slapsack.
Second successful star pass onto Slapsack, and again, many very successful star passes for the Netherlands.
I think if they could get them off a little bit quicker, it would be more effective right now. They are doing them a while after lead jam has been awarded. But nonetheless, an excellent tactic to use. 80 points exactly now separating these two teams with just over a minute to go. So we're probably only going to see 1 or 2 more jams at most.
Yep, Johnny Beirut in the meantime back on track as a blocker, whereas Jupile is currently sitting in the box as a jammer for a track cut.
No, we have Johnny Beirut wearing the star.
Yeah. Jupile is sitting in the box as a blocker.
There we go.
He was assessed a track cut, cut. I'm still getting used to all of these new,
it's fine.
New cues.
Words in the right order are overrated anyway.
Finally lead after 25 seconds there. Well, finally. Mahatma Bronson, amazing jammer here for Germany.
He's looking very relaxed as he comes round.
He knows they pretty much got this, so like any points they can take right now are just nice to have. Johnny Beirut there out of the pack as well now. We have 20 seconds left on the period clock, 1:15 on the jam clock. Johnny Beirut coming in, scoring some more points, easily getting past like
lovely footwork there from Johnny Beirut. And a cut track penalty issued to Mahatma Bronson, so not the way that Germany wanted to end this game. Losing that control, but it does mean we have a 2-minute jam to close us out.
But a very big back block there by Rudy Cartel being sent to the cheese ball bearings penalty box. Nice grand slam there by the Netherlands.
And a lovely clear there by the Netherlands to get Johnny B. Rood through. So a great final jam for the Netherlands. 14 points on the board so far, breaking the century mark in this jam. Johnny B. Rood taken out the pivot. I think that's Baltic Bastard, just putting his hands up, kind of going, come at me. And he does.
Jammer, in the meantime, back on track. Jupiler, you can tell he hasn't really blocked in a while. He's just standing there like, oh, there's a Jammer, hold on. But they know this is a done game. Johnny B. Rood, however, just for his own pride, I think, and for his country's pride, just wants to put as many points on the board as he possibly can. Very hard hit there on Jupiler in the back.
And 5 points for Johnny B. Rood to finish off that jam. So the Netherlands really coming through strong in that last jam. 19 points. And look, still that exact 70 point differential. Here's Johnny B. Rood on that vmex.com replay with just a fantastic show from the Dutch captain in that last jam. Highest scoring jam from the Netherlands in the game. They actually opened the game, or their second jam, with 18 points, and the final jam with 19 points. So a really, really great show from both teams, but what a win for Germany there, who just, as we talked about, took that momentum, ran with it, had a great time on track as well. There were smiles on the bench, lots of cheers, a great attitude.
It was a blast to announce.
Which means, of course, that Germany will finish 15th out of 24 teams in this World Cup rankings, and the Netherlands should be exceptionally proud to be ranked 16 out of 24. They were ranked 20 out of 20 in 2016, 16 out of 24 in 2018. So for both teams, a huge amount of credit is due. And we see a lovely shot there, all hugs and smiles on the track for the team in orange and blue. What a great way to
end the tournament. To end the World Cup, yes, definitely.
So we are going to leave you very shortly. The next game on this track, I will just find out for you what that is so you can make a decision.
This is actually GT's last game as a coach for Team Netherlands. We see them crying there, overcome with emotion. They will be passing the baton on to another coach. So if you're interested in coaching Team Netherlands, I'll definitely let them know.
So you now see on the screen what will be happening next. So in about 15 minutes, probably a bit longer actually, maybe 20, 25 minutes, we will have Spain versus Belgium on the track. They will play off for 11th and 12th place, followed by Scotland and Finland, which will be the last game on this track. Meanwhile, over on track 1, Wales are facing off against Argentina for 7th and 8th place. That will be followed by Canada versus Mexico at 3 o'clock local time. And then, of course, track 1 will be the place to be as we close out the tournament, with France versus Australia in the bronze medal game and the USA versus England in the final. Thank you very much for staying with us on track 2. It has been a fantastic game and a joy to call. I've been the Golden Snatch.
I've been Exterminate, and we've been aided here by the wonderful Snuggins as our producer.
Please do stay with us for the rest of the day. You are seeing some of the best roller derby in the world right now. And if that shot of the teams mixing together for a final photo isn't representative of this tournament, I don't know what is. Have a fantastic day on the Men's Roller Derby World Cup live stream, and we will see you again very shortly.